3-week placement in the middle of my 4th year, I got the opportunity to plan for and teach the whole 2 weeks reading, writing, maths, and inquiry. I wanted to show you in particular my math units, however, as this is my highlighted. I was teaching grade 5 and 6 and they were learning how to tell time. We scroll down to here. As you can see, I've used the pretest to decide which parts of the Victorian curriculum that I wanted to focus on and which students needed help with which areas of the Victorian curriculum. I ended up having a differentiation of 6 year levels throughout the entire 2 weeks of learning time. I only have the from 2 to 6 in the Victorian curriculum descriptors, and it's because my student that was learning year 7, she was in an ILP and she didn't show up on this at the start of the week. So as you can see, I was able to differentiate my students in high achievers, middle achievers, and low achievers, where most of the group really sat at the middle achievers section, which was grade 4-5 of the Victorian curriculum. Most of them were in that level. However, depending on how the students went in that lesson and how they went in the pretest would depend whether I would change them from lesson to lesson from low, middle, and to high. This was my way of ensuring assessment of learning was present in my teaching, and it was important for me to focus on this concept as I firmly believe that information about students is not being used to help that learning, then the lesson isn't being utilized to its full potential. So as you can see, as we scroll down, as I said before, most of my students were at the middle achievers level, but when I started learning AM to PM, converting the difference between AM and PM and using this to convert between 12 and 24-hour times, most of my students were actually in the grade 2-3 level of the Victorian curriculum, so they were in my low achievers. Because these students had trouble with this concept, I spent a couple more lessons focusing on it as I really wanted them to be able to grasp the concept. As grade 5-6s, I wanted to be able to get them there before I left my teaching rounds. I had 2 ILPs at the time. Sometimes I had an ILP for my lower achievers, where they were learning Prep 1s, and sometimes I had a high achievers, which is here, for my one student that was working at year 7 level. And that's my planning for the week 7 of the maths unit.